Hi, everyone. I'm Sam Wilson Jr., and this is the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast Report. And this is the report on Substack on where I bring you some reports on for those you, the people of America and around the world. I've always asked them, did you get a chance to check out my episodes? And how many people have been tuning in to the Black Soul Music Experience podcast? And also, I'll give you some upcoming events and major breaking music news. So, again, I hope you got a chance to tune in to season 5 of the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. And we have some good news to share with you. I am branching out to Substack. So, this is where you will find me doing reports on upcoming events, music breaking music news, and to let you know what's going to be on the next episode of the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. And yes, my podcast is on summer vacation, and the season premiere will return on Tuesday, August 25th. So, without further ado, let's find out how many people have been tuning in to season number 5 of the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. And here we go. On video on Riverside.fm, I have 96 followers and I have 1,219 downloads and platforms, or should I say plays? I should say 1,219 plays and downloads, 96 followers. So, for those of you who've been tuning into my season finale of parts 1, 2, and 3, for part 1, we had 25 subscribers or audience of 25. Part 2, 9 of audiences. And part 3, 19 audiences. So for those of the numbers that have been tuning in. To the episode that I've interviewed, my returning guest was Miss Gwen Black. We had an audience play of 17. For the Father's Day episode, my guest was Mr. Joseph Barcelona. We had 11 audience plays. My returning guest, Miss Carla Lynette, with songwriters Swaggy and Sino. We had 4 audiences or plays. For my new guest, Mr. Marquise Green, we have 34 audience plays. My returning guest, Nikki Heath, we had 14 plays. My new guest, Ms. Troy Hawkins, we had 37 audience plays. My new guest, jazz percussionist and radio host, Mr. Bernard Capodici, we had the highest rating of 45 audiences. And that's the same time when I had to open up my podcast to the public. For my Mother's Day episode, my guest was my paternal cousin, Richard Bellinger. We had 14 plays. The episode with my returning guest, Miss Tanya Dunham, 40 audience plays. Mother's Day episode with Miss Justina Hendricks, 25 audiences plays. We have a new guest in honor of Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. My guest was Miss Mayuki Tani. We had 10 plays. And our guest, my cousin in law representing the Warwick family, jazz musician Stephen B., 21 plays. My returning guest, Jackie Carson, we had 35 audiences plays. My new guest, today's R&B artist and musician and music producer Diesel, that spells Deezle, 25 plays. My new guest, hip hop artist Jinx McFly, representing Kansas City, Missouri, we had 15 plays. My new guest, Dr. Eugene Santillano, we did an episode of music playing a part in social issues. On that episode, we did an episode on music playing a part of songs that is dealing with mental illness. We had 20 audience plays. My new guest, Miss Bella Adana, 6 audience plays. My new guest, representing Kazakhstan, Miss Karina Bayakova, 20 plays. And it was a music educational episode. She is a violinist and music teacher. My returning guest, my former CBS co-worker, my friend and colleague, Miss Stephanie Seskin. We had 22 audience plays. My new guest, Mary Stanley, who served in the military. I've met her on the Alignable Meeting Room back in 2025, and we did a songs that's dealing with social issues. So we did about war and peace and protest songs, and we had 31 audience plays. My friend and colleague, my former CBS coworker, Colleen Kinney, she we had 27 audiences plays. And speaking of Colleen Kinney, she has a new podcast out called Content Chaos. It is with George and Carl, and you can check it out on Substack. My new guest, Miss Samantha LaCroix, representing Austria, and she is a singer and former dancer and now movie director. We had 7 audiences plays. We did an Afrobeat episode with my guest, DJ Fab, 13 audience plays. My paternal cousin, my returning guest, Habaka, we did a Black History Month episode. We got 5 audience plays. My new guest, we did a Blue Eyed Soul White Chocolate episode. Miss Shauna Knapp, we got 9 plays. We had today's traditional R&B artist, Miss Dom Jones. We had 2 plays. We did a Dr. King episode, bonus episode. My guest was Kim Harris. We only had 0 plays. We had Jabrail Reynolds. We did an episode on Black businesses. We got 2 plays. And also the same thing with comedian Willie Gemini Jones. So we did an episode on comedians who had their own morning or afternoon radio shows. We only had like 0 or 2 plays. And yes, I did the birthday episode, my birthday episode, which was aired on my birthday, October 18th. And we have a new guest, which was on the first Thursday of January of 2026. We started branching out to the first Thursdays of January. Tiara Sticks Jones, we did an episode on music playing a part in sports. We had 4 audience plays. Tawana Lael, we only had 0. Carla Lynette, as we had, which was aired on the first day of Kwanzaa, only, I believe it's 1 play. Jazzy No Nonsense, the poet, radio DJ personality, only had 0. Kimmy Ooh, we only had 1 audience play. Kiki Ba, only had 0. Devin Roberts only had 1 audience play. Leo from the group Century, that spells Century, 0. Nili Hagani, which was our first singer representing the country of Iran. We only had 0. Rachel Delgado, we only had 1. Daniel Marshall, the hip hop artist from Washington, D.C., we only had 0. I interviewed my maternal cousin, Kurt Jones, representing the Thomas Bowles family, who only had 2 plays. My new guest, Nina Akchavaria, we did an episode on music playing a part in fashion and the arts. We only had 4 plays that was aired on Veterans Day. My new guest, Miss Ariel Nicole, we only had 2 plays. We had Miss Palak Bida representing Mumbai. We had 5 audience plays. Papa Joe representing the state of Connecticut. We only had 4 audience plays. I mentioned my birthday episode, and I think it was either 1 or 2 or 3. I don't know because Riverside.FM was messing up by putting it on the other section instead of doing of season 5. There was some computer glitches here and there. We had a new artist named Scylla, and she is the independent artist and founder of Ethophilia Records coming out of Japan. That one audience play. My friend and colleague, my former CBS co-worker who worked at WCBS News Radio 880. Now she's a co-founder of Venus Media. Her name is Sylvia Herrera. Only had 2 audience plays. We had a new guest named Monica Hamlet, aka Mona Lisa or Mona Lisa, Lizza Hamlet. Only 1 play. We had a new artist, Jimmy Got Soul, 2 audience plays representing the UK. Tamarati, 3 plays. My returning guest, not my returning guest, my former CBS coworker, my friend and colleague, Angela Thompson. We did a bonus episode dealing with emergency preparedness. Because remember, music play a part in social issues, whether it's dealing with climate change and the environment. So we only got like 1 audience play. My episode, as we celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, Eliza Gomez Taylor. We only had 1 play. And I had Miss Jean Geese, and I've interviewed her at Jazz Fridays at Frankie and Johnny's restaurant in New York City. I took my equipment with me. We did the interview before the performance. We only got 2 plays. Had a new guest, Stephanie Prince from Louisville, Kentucky. We did an episode on Black conductors. This was not talked about. This was something new. Only 1 play. My guest that I've been trying to get for a long time for season 4, she had problems with Riverside.FM, and we finally got through. We did an episode on songs dealing with social issues, and the songs was dealing with domestic abuse. We got 3 plays for that. And on Venus Crute, she was the one who does the voiceovers for WRKS-FM, 98.7 KISS FM in the NYC, which is no more. Only have 1 play. And we had our season premiere with Phil Scarf, 3 plays. And we had a special summer episode with my returning guest, Christy Kanska, with 4 plays. So once again, for the video version, we had 96 followers and 1,219 plays and downloads. For the audio version, we had 187 followers and 10,923 plays and downloads. So we need 100 followers for the video version, and we also need 100 followers for the audio version. Now, as we branch out to YouTube, for those of you who've been tuning in to the video version on YouTube, we got some good news. Now, for those of you who may not know, I was a guest on Laura Price's new show called Pull the Panties to the Side podcast, or The Happy Ending podcast. And I met this lady on a Lineable in a network event meeting back in March. And today she is a spiritual healer who has her podcast is dealing with female sexuality. But back then she was a hip hop artist, and she represents California, and she's white. So I had to join Substack, And I had to put that on my Black Soul Music Experience podcast. So we had 15 views so far. Now, as far as the tributes are concerned, for part 3, we had 8 views. So let me back it up for a minute. The one for the guest on Lower Prices podcast, 15 views and 1 comment. Now let's continue. The part 3 season finale on tributes, we only had 8 views. Part 2, 6 views. And part 1, 12 views. For my guest, my returning guest, Miss Gwendolyn Black, 27 views and 5 comments. For the Father's Day episode with my guest, Joseph Barcelona, 16 views and 2 comments. My returning guest, Carla Lynette with Swaggy and Sino, 70 views. For my guest, Marcus Green, 24 views and 2 comments. My returning guest, Nikki Green, 21 views. My new guest, Troy Hawkins, 14 views. For Bernard Cappaducci, 41 views and 2 comments. My returning guest, Tanya Dunham, 12 views. For the Mother's Day episode with my guest, Justina Hendricks, 19 views. For the Mother's Day episode with my paternal cousin, Richard Bellinger, 32 views. And for the Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month episode, Mayuki Tani, we had 36 views and 2 comments. For our new guest, Stephen B., who is the in-law to my cousins, the Warwick family, 8 views and 3 comments. My returning guest, Jackie Carson, 13 views. Diesel, 8 views. Jinx McFly, 12 views. Dr. Eugene Santillano, 40 views, 2 comments. Singer Bella Adana, 17 views, 3 comments. Karina Bayakova, 26 views. Stephanie Zeskin, 29 views, 3 comments. Mary Stanley, 11 views. Colleen Kenny, 16 views. Samantha LaCroix, 80 views. For DJ Fab, 25 views. My paternal cousin, Tammy Harper, we got 258 views. For my paternal cousin, Habaka, 22 views. For Cherie Brown, 7 views. And we got Brill NK. We did an Afrobeat episode, 25 views. Shauna Knapp, 29 views. Dom Jones, 12 views. Kemp Harris, 27 views. Jabrail Reynolds, 29 views. Willie Gemini Jones, 26 views. Tiara Sticks Jones, 17 views and 1 comment. Tawana Leal, 21 views. Carla Lynette, 54 views. Jazzy, No Nonsense, the poet, that's the radio DJ personality, 13 views, 2 comments. Singer Kimmy Ooh, 29 views, 3 comments. Kiki Ba, 15 views. Devin Roberts, 34 views. Leo from the group Century, 7 views. And for Nili Hagani, 55 views and 10 comments. Rachel Delgado, we got 50 views and 2 comments. Danielle Marshall, 12 views. Nina Escobaria, 32 views. Palak Bida, 10 views. And Papa Joe, 26 views. We got my bonus episode, my 59th birthday, 14 views. Scylla, 19 views, 2 comments. Sylvia Herrera, 36 views. We have Mona Lisa, 30 views and 3 comments. Jimmy Got Soul, 25 views. Taramati, 26 views. Angela Thompson, 699 views and 4 comments. Eliza Gomez Taylor, 26 views, 2 comments. Jean Geese, 11 views. Stephanie Prince, 34 views. Miss Tammy Smith, 187 views and 5 comments. Venus Crute, 19 views. Phil Scarf, 20 views. And the summer episode, Christy Konska, 43 views. Now, I can tell you from the video version what was the highest rated views ever. Miss Angela Thompson, 699 views. And for Tammy, my cousin Tammy Harper, 258 views. And we had Samantha LaCroix, 80 views. Dr. Eugene Santillano, 40 views. Bernard Cappaducci, 41 views. And we don't want to leave out my cousin Kurt, 30 views. And Rachel Delgado, 50 views. And Nili Hagani, 55. So there you have it, folks. These are the highest rated views ever on YouTube. We have over 237 subscribers. So we got a long way to go, ladies and gentlemen. So please help me get up to 1,000 subscribers so we can get my podcast on YouTube monetized. So on the Riverside.fm edition, what was the highest number from the Riverside.fm version? Mr. Bernard Capodici. We have an audience of 45, and that's when I had my podcast open to the public. So those are the numbers. Everything is all highlighted. And the reason that I had my podcast being private, and I do have my Black Soul Music Experience podcast homepage on YouTube, I kept it private. I want to give a special shout out to those that I met on Alignable who are AI virtual technical experts. And they had helped me on how to branch out my podcast to other links. So for those of you that may have a hard time getting on to the Riverside.fm link, or when I release the episodes and get it on to different platforms, some of them had the Facebook logo that says click to open, which sometimes it won't open depending on your internet provider. Some will say it'll be blocked or invalid, but I had to make the toughest decision and open it to the public, and everything has turned around. The numbers had doubled, the monetization has doubled as well. So, again, thank you all for tuning in to my podcast. And as I said, my podcast is on summer vacation, and that's why I'm bringing you all these reports to you. Now, I have some good news to share with you. I have a new and improved website. So if you haven't checked it out, please check out my new and improved website. It's the Black Soul Music Experience podcast.com. Since I haven't used the website since I started doing my podcast back in October 2021, we had to do it on WordPress. I started doing it since 2021, 2022. And yes, I haven't used it ever since I was laid off from Viacom, CBS, Paramount. And since March of 2026, I had to put that on Alignable. I wasn't sure that my website would be appropriate because it was on WordPress. There's no designs, no backdrops, no automated special effects, nothing. Everything was all typed up news blogs. So then to the last minute, I couldn't remember my password. So I had to redo it all over again. Something new, something fresh, and we got it in on Alignable. As I said again, special shout out to those that I met on Alignable dealing with AI technology, website design, etc., etc. They helped me, and now it's all new and improved. So if you didn't get a chance to check out my website, make sure you go, either you have MSN or AOL. Make sure you type in the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast.com. Just click the enter key on your computer. And when you see the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast.com, click on there, and that'll automatically get you to my new and improved website. Please check out my episodes. You can either go to Facebook, where it automatically gets you to the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast homepage on my Facebook, where you can see all of the episodes, whether it's from YouTube as well as Substack. And if you want to check out the full episodes, make sure you go to YouTube. Go click on that YouTube logo and click on there, and that'll automatically get you to my podcast. Be sure to look for my picture. I'm wearing a tuxedo. And all you need to do is please click the subscribe button. And that lets me know that you're tuning in to the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. And now I made it easier for all of you listeners and viewers. For those of you who have Spotify and Patreon, now you have a chance to subscribe and support my show. And I've just joined Instagram and Blue Sky for the Magic AI clips. So make sure, if you want to see the clips, just go to Instagram, and that'll automatically get you on to my to my page. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for everything that you've been tuning in, for subscribing to my podcast. And normally I would take my podcast on the road to promote the new season. And because of what's been happening in this country and all around the world, I'll be taking my podcast to local networking expos and business expos, share that with those who want to know more about my podcast. And for those who have smartphones, and if they have YouTube, and you too, if you have YouTube on your smartphones, make sure you type in the name of my podcast, the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast, and just subscribe to my channel. Go to youtube.com/, the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. Or if you have a hard time, just go to the YouTube homepage, please, and just type in the name of my podcast, the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. And make sure you click the magnifying glass and look for my picture. I'm wearing a tuxedo, and please click the subscribe button, and you'll get a chance to see all of the episodes from seasons 4 and 5. Now, I can tell you that season number 6 will return this fall, and that will be season number 6, Tuesday, August 25th. And I'll be resuming the podcast interviews on Wednesday, July 22nd. Now, as far as upcoming events, originally August, I was supposed to go to the Truman class reunion, but I told my classmates I wasn't coming because I was still laid off. The committee have said, we want you to do the podcast for free. And I was hoping that we would do like the 80s, a decade of music. But the sad news was the event has been canceled. So hopefully that my classmates will come on to be on my show, and we can talk about the 80s decade of music. I have lived through the 80s, where I've lived through the BET, MTV, VH1 video era. And for those that didn't have cable, We had NBC's Friday Night Videos came on Friday nights at 12:30, right after the Tonight Show, starring Johnny Carson. And there was some other local video music shows, and of course, Video Music Box, which was aired on WNYC TV, Channel 31. Then it moved to WNYE, Channel 25, NYC TV. So those were the days that we couldn't afford to get cable. So we wanted to let you know that Monica Hamlet, aka Mona Lisa or Mona Lisa, will be in town in the Boogie Down Bronx, New York. I will be there playing the music in between. There'll be a band coming. So it is scheduled for either Saturday, August 22nd or Saturday, August 29th. So stay tuned for more information as it develops. So in the meantime, I hope you're enjoying your wonderful summer. Please check out all of the episodes from seasons 4 and 5 of the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. Be sure to look for me on these 5 platforms. I'm on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and Pocket Cast. And the link is riverside.fm/studio/Samuel-Wilson Jr.'s. Don't forget to add the S to the end -studio. And for all of the news reports that I'm bringing to you right now, please subscribe and donate to Substack. All you have to do is just go to the Substack logo and where you'll find me. And if you have a hard time getting on the Substack, then I will be posting this episode on YouTube and also to my Black Soul Music Experience Podcast Facebook homepage. So please pass it on to your friends, your family relatives, your neighbors, your classmates, your coworkers, your church members, and for those that may not know. Make sure you tune in to the Black Soul Music Experience podcast all season long. And as always, my podcast is on every Tuesdays and every first Thursday of the month. Available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Pocket Cast, or wherever you get your podcasts. And please make a donation to my podcast for those of you who are getting ready to join Patreon or thinking about joining Patreon. Please donate to my podcast. Please make your donation and look for my podcast. It's on Patreon. It's only $5.50 a month. It's affordable and reasonable, and you're helping me to continue with this podcast so I can bring you Black music stories that needs to be told and needs to be exposed. And as I continue to interview a diversity of singers from the US to Canada to the UK to Africa to the Middle East to the Far East who were influenced by Black music. And I don't stop there. I also interview singers and musicians who are also music teachers. As I said, music education is important, as well as music playing a part in sports, music playing a part in fashion and the arts, and music playing a part in social issues. All today's headlines coming from today's news headlines. So that's what you'll get on the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. So, for those of you who are joining and thinking about subscribing to my show, please make a donation to patreon.com. Make sure you subscribe to the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. Go to patreon.com/, the Black Soul Music Experience podcast 6. All you need to do is have your computer, have your email address, put in your password, go to the Patreon homepage, go to the search box, and type in the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast 6. Check out all of my audio and video podcast episodes and video podcast clips that you may have missed. And if you have a hard time getting on the Patreon, then be sure to look for this episode on YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Go to youtube.com/the Black Soul Music Experience. And if you have a hard time, just do it the old school way. Go to the go to the YouTube homepage and make sure you type in the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. Be sure to look for my picture and please click the subscribe button. As I mentioned earlier, we have 237 subscribers. So let's get up to 1,000 subscribers. Please check out my podcast if you like them. Please subscribe. Please support. Please give me a thumbs up. Please leave a comment and please pass it on. Thank you for joining me on the Black Soul Music Experience podcast report. Take care, God bless, and enjoy your summer.